Hey guys, it's Shah here, the Tech Book, and today's video we're going to be doing a challenge video, and in this challenge we're going to be writing a program to compute 1 over 2 plus 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4 plus etc plus n over n plus 1, so it's going to be like a summation series with a given n input by the console, where n is greater than 0. So first of all, we have to actually get the inputs of the n, so how many times does the user want this to go on until? So if we do n is equal to integer, so we obviously want an integer, we want the input, then you want to ask them how many times, and then just leave the space so they can enter. Now, before we go ahead and hit this, we also need to make sure that the values that are added up are stored, so we need to make something like total. So the total is equal to 0. So we want the total to be we want the summation to be stored under the name of total, as I've called it. You can call it something else if you want, but make sure you give a suitable variable name, as computer science requires, or at least programming requires you to have suitable variable names. So let's say if someone else was to use your program, they can know what each variable does exactly. So that's really the main reason why you should have suitable variable names. Now, if we get on with the program now, it's very straightforward if you think about it, because all you're doing is you're looping from 1 to 2, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. And you just want it to keep on adding. So a suitable loop would be a for loop in this case. While loop is definitely not suitable, and you can use a define function if you want to. If you do check out one of my previous challenge videos, I have used a define function to make a slightly similar program to this. So that's a challenge for you if you can go ahead and do that. But in this video I'm just going to use a for loop, because for loop is very straightforward and I believe it's the most efficient way to do this. So for I, so I'm just going to call it I, because it's just any random. So the I represents the value that the first loop will have, second, third, etc. I'll show you once I write this code, right? So for I in range, so now the whole point of range is to allow us to loop, right? So in range, and we want the range to be 1, which it has to begin with, all the way up to n plus 1, as shown over here, n plus 1. So if I just do this, and then now we just have to do total plus equals, which all it does is just keeps on adding it every time. Total plus equals to float. So now we have to convert it into float, because we know that 2/3 would be a decimal number. So if we keep an integer, Python will definitely give us an error. So if I do float I divide I plus 1, although there's no need to make that I a float as well, but I've just done it anyway. I can get rid of that, that's not a problem. So if we do this, I over I plus 1, then it should loop, and if we print it is, and then a decent message at least to tell them total, and then if I save this and run this, how many times? Well, 5 is 10 times, and you know that's wrong. And so what could be the error here? Well, the error is pretty straightforward. I mean, the point is you need to put a float here, I believe. It's pretty cool how it loops through the entire thing, actually. So if I run this now, hopefully it should work now. I believe you were meant to put that as an integer. Yeah, so I believe I forgot to put a bracket. That was my fault, of course. Over here, I believe it's double brackets, like this. Yes, this is meant to not be in brackets, as I'm sure. No, that's the same thing, my bad. But it's quite straightforward. I forgot to put the bracket over here. So if I just put this slash and put this on. So make sure you use your brackets correctly, because well, Python isn't very beautiful when it comes to case sensitive things, or at least brackets in this case. So the problem was that we forgot to put brackets around this. So what Python was doing is it was doing I divide I and then adding 1 to that, and it was just getting messed up after that. So it didn't work properly. If you do I divided by I plus 1, it would just give 2 every time. So 2 times 5 would be 10, which is why it was producing 10. If that makes sense. If not, I'll go over it one more time. So if I, let's say I didn't include these brackets now, what do you think would happen? Python would just literally do it from left to right, which as you read a book, I divided by I, which in the first case would be 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2, because we looped it 5 times, because we entered n as 5 initially, it would do it until 10, because 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 5 times is 10. But if now we include brackets, now what we've done is we've restricted it, and we're saying no, you have to divide it by the whole thing now. So now hopefully you'll be correct. So if we save this and run this, so if I put 5 in, so as you can see it says 3.55. Okay, it just seems like it's exactly being perfect. Oh, we've included way too many decimal places. There's a way to limit decimal places, but in this video we're not going to be looking at limiting decimal places. You can if you want. I'll show you really quickly if you need to know. But if I go ahead and check on the calculator now, as you can see, well, you can't see, but if you go ahead and type on the calculator 1 over 2 plus 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4 plus 4 over 5 plus 5 over 6, it will produce 3.55, because, well, those are the closest digits that it can round it to, and yeah, and it also produces a fraction as well. So if I check on my calculator, it produces 71 over 20 as a fraction, so it's pretty good. I mean, and the program's working as well, and it's pretty efficient as well, in my opinion. So that's really it, guys. Oh yeah, and to show you how to do the rounding, to show you guys how to round, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you just want to edit these characters. You just need to get rid of this, and you use the function called round built in within Python. And as you can see, you know it's a function because it's purple. So yeah, so round, and we put total, which is our variable that needs to be changed, and then over here you just put in how many decimal places. So if I say 2 decimal places, if I save this and run 5, as you can see it says 3.55. If I do something like 4, save this and run this, it should have 4 decimal places then. Well, it doesn't show 4 because, well, if you round 3.55 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 etc. to 2 decimal places, it will show 3.55. So if I do something like 20, then maybe it might work. Let's see. So as you can see, it did work. It showed it to the nearest decimal place. We got the answer we got previously, but if you're not interested in the whole thing and you just want like I don't know, like 3 decimal places, then I mean, there you go. It's working perfectly fine. That's really it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like, comment, subscribe.